Hey everybody. A couple of weeks ago, I got a random email from a guy named Craig, and Craig said, "Hey Mark, I've got some extra copies of some books in my collection, some things that I don't think you have in your collection because I've had to sell off so much of my own collection." And Craig said, "If you want, I will box these books up and send them your way." And I was so touched. I was so moved by the gesture. And of course, I said, "Okay, let's do that." And I waited eagerly. Craig boxed everything up and he sent it my way. And I just got this box the other day. And it's huge. It's 16 pounds, 7 ounces, almost $17 to ship with media mail. And if you're used to shipping things with the United States Postal Service, you know that almost $17 for media mail, that's quite expensive. So I haven't broken into this box yet. I don't know exactly what is in here, but I wanted to make a video and share the experience with you. So I've got my trusty knife, and I'm gonna slice. Always be careful with your knife not to cut too deeply. Oh, nope. There was one right under the surface. And I think I may have cut. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Boy, these books are packed in here. That is fantastic. I cut. Can you see it? I cut the bag. With my knife, but it does not appear that I have cut the jacket. Phew, that is lucky. So anyway, oh my gosh, we start with a copy of Rose Madder, which is not my favorite Stephen King book, but it is actually a lovely book in and of itself. It's got this nice image across from the title page. All right. Full number line on the copyright page includes the number 1. Underneath the jacket, black boards, quarter cloth binding, real cloth. We take that for granted these days, or we took it for granted back in those days, but by today's standards, this is very luxurious. Quarter cloth, red printing, red foil on the spine. All right, very cool. So let's see. This thing, put my knife away. What is next? Ew, nice. The Tommyknockers with the red foil. This is not an uncommon book. There were like 1 million printed, 500,000 with the gold foil and 500,000 with the red. But it is a tough book to find in decent shape because the foil, particularly the gold foil, is prone to like deterioration. To me, I always call it rot because it looks like it's just rotting away. But this is one that I do not have in my collection that I sold off some time back. So there is the price on the dust jacket. Does not appear that this is I don't exactly remember off the top of my head where to look for the permissions to come language, but yeah, very cool. So under the jacket, green boards with black. This is more like what you would see these days, kind of a paper binding, but still has held together just fine over the years. So there is the Tommyknockers. Up next, ooh, excellent. Everything's Eventual, 14 Dark Tales. I have been making my way through the short fiction collections recently and rating every single story. as I go. But Everything's Eventual has the highest score of any of the collections that I have revisited to date. I started at the beginning with Night Shift. I've been working my way up. I actually started with You Like It Darker, the brand new collection, but Everything's Eventual is top-notch stuff. So, under the flap, there's a price on the jackets. Copyright page, number line includes the number 1. Under the jackets, kind of gray boards with blue over the spine. It's a nice kind of understated color combination. Bit of an unusual one, but I like it. Everything's Eventual. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Next up, Just After Sunset. This is the collection that I just most recently finished rereading and revisiting, and I really liked it. I haven't, this came out in 2008. I think I read the collection in 2008 and haven't read it since. It's a very, very enjoyable experience overall. Number line includes the number 1. Under the jacket on this one, it's kind of black all around and kind of a coppery foil on the spine. Another good looking book. Up next, all right, Dolores Claiborne. To me, this is one of the most underrated Stephen King books of all time. It's interesting. It's kind of a skinnier, it's more narrow. Let's see if I can compare. So your typical would be 9.5 inches tall, 6.5 inches wide or so. And I'm guessing Dolores Claiborne is maybe 6 inches wide, just a little bit narrower. And for my OCD brain, that kind of drives me crazy, but not a big deal. Price under the flap. Let's see, like Rose Matter. There's some interesting illustration, which is appreciated. Kind of stands out for a mass market hardcover. Number line includes the number 1. Very, very cool. And black boards with, again, a black quarter cloth binding. Two color foil stamping. We took this stuff for granted back in the day, but it all seems very, very deluxe by today's standards. Yellow end papers. I know I've talked a lot about book club editions and end papers in my videos, but one of the dead giveaways, book club editions almost always have white end papers, and first editions almost always have other colors of end papers. And this one has kind of a orangish yellow, so that is just one more thing to look for.
And now a word about our sponsor.
Since 2001, The Collector has been a cornerstone resource of the Stephen King collecting community, providing information about remarks, manufacturing and selling slipcases to protect your cherished titles, providing forums where you can connect with like-minded collectors, and providing information about all the books a collector could possibly be interested in, from limited editions to first editions and all the other editions to boot. Additionally, The Collector provides up-to-the-minute information and exciting news about everything Stephen King, collected from all over the internet. StephenKingCollector.com. Go check it out. You'll be glad you did.
Oh my gosh. The bounty just keeps flowing. I love it. Whoa, cool. Under the Dome. Big, beefy book. As my friend Brooklyn Ann would say, it's a chunky boy. So there's a variant of this. I think the one I used to have before I sold it had gray printing, and this one has white. I think the white might be a little bit more common. I'm not 100% sure about that. Price and the flap. No text here, no text in the back until you get to the bottom, which is kind of unusual. Normally there's some kind of a blurb or something. This has the number line with the number 1, which is the thing to look for. And of course, the map. And I'm a sucker for a map. I love when I open a book and there's a freaking map. Oh boy, I get excited because I know that it's going to be fairly complicated. And then this cast of characters, 3 pages long, this cast of characters. By comparison, a book like Gerald's Game has like one main character, essentially. There's maybe like 4 or 5 total characters that are referenced in the book for any length of time. But Under the Dome has like 600 characters. It's jam-packed. It is a huge book, and I love it. And I haven't had it in my collection for a while, so this is really nice. All right. Moving on, Bag of Bones. This is an excellent book. Definitely one of my favorites. I was sorry to see it go, but I did let it go, and now I have a copy back. That's so nice. So, price under the jacket, $28. The number line on this one goes down to the number 5. So this is not a first printing, it's a 5th printing. You look for the lowest number on the line denotes printing. But still, beautiful book. And people get kind of fetishistic almost about what particular types of things that they collect, but the book is the same. The story is the same. The contents are the same. Still good looking, kind of an orangish brown board with white over the spine. Bag of Bones was Stephen King's first release with Scribner. It was a big deal. I remember he got a lot of flack, a lot of heat back in the day for the contract negotiations. Everyone accused him of being just in it for the money. And of course, he wasn't just in it for the money, but if somebody's making a lot of money off of Stephen King, I think rightfully so, like a professional athlete, if someone's making a lot of money off of their name and off of their work, they should be getting a healthy cut of that. But anyway, all that is water under the bridge. Bag of Bones. Awesome. Oh my. And last but certainly not least, oh, I'm so excited about this. Eyes of the Dragon. This is in my opinion, of all the trade hardcover editions of Stephen King's works, Eyes of the Dragon is probably the best produced, the most beautiful, the most attractive, the most deluxe. From the cover and the jacket all the way down to the paper used and the interior illustrations. This is a beautiful book. So one thing to look for right off the gate are the embossed scales on the cover, which this one has the embossed scales. And I have seen a book club edition of Eyes of the Dragon that had the embossed scales on the cover and no price. So this one has a price. So I didn't know that was a thing. So if you find Eyes of the Dragon and it has the scales, but it doesn't have a price under the jacket flap, that is a book club edition of some stripe. They were apparently at some point released with the scales on the jacket. Price. The book club edition of Eyes of the Dragon often has white end papers. The first has green, so this matches that. The paper. Just flipping through the paper, it's softer. You can tell it's of a higher quality, and it is illustrated throughout by David Palladini, famously illustrated. Lots and lots of little illustrations like that. Copyright page, it says, first published in 1987 by Viking Penguin Incorporated. That's the language to look for. The Viking ones were a little bit trickier because there wasn't a number line, and unlike the Doubledays, they didn't explicitly say first edition. So you have to be a little bit more careful looking at the copyright page. Here's another example of the artwork. It just feels nice. The book feels nice. For as big as it is, or as slim as it is, it feels heavy. When you pick it up, it feels heavier than you're expecting. When like Bag of Bones is nearly twice as thick, and it feels about the same weight, just roughly, holding it in my hand, because it's printed on poorer quality paper with poorer quality components. Eyes of the Dragon feels dense and heavy, even though it comes in at, 326 pages. So it's relatively slim, it's dense, it has green boards, white quarter cloth binding with 2-color foil stamping on the spine, and the dragon image embossed in gold foil on the front board. The jacket, I'll definitely put a Mylar on this one. It has a few condition issues, but that is okay. Condition issues in some ways just give a book personality. This book came out in 1987, so it's nearly 40 years old. God knows how many shelves, how many caretakers this book has had before me, but now it's here, and I will love it and take good care of it. One thing on Eyes of the Dragon, the spine is often faded. This one maybe has a little bit of fade, but really not too bad. The colors are in good shape. I can handle some wear and tear, some issues with condition, but if the color is still really bold and bright, then that's the part that I like the best. So anyway, so Eyes of the Dragon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's eight books in one nearly 17-pound box from a viewer of the channel named Craig, who just so kindly reached out and just said, I've got all these duplicates and these extra copies, and I'd be happy to send them your way. Truly one of the nicest things that's ever happened to me. So thank you so much to Craig for your generosity. Thank you to Thomas with skcollector.com, our channel sponsor. And thank you to you, the viewers who come along with me on this journey. I really appreciate your support and your comments and your questions and your emails and all of the things. So anyway, what a special day. I can't wait to put Mylar on all of these and put them proudly on my shelves. So next video, you'll see quite a few more titles on my shelves, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So thanks again to Craig, and thanks again to all of you. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.